Stay focused on your lane, on your goal, and on your why. I know people are like, everybody making their bed online. Okay, and we are, and I actually make my bed every day. Okay, period. Hello, beautiful people. Hey y'all, it's Cameron the K, come to you guys with a new video. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking all about mindset shifts when it comes to being an entrepreneur. How do I believe in myself? All of those type of things. Child, I'm trying to give y'all the motivation and inspiration that I needed throughout this journey and still continue to need, okay? Because entrepreneurship is honestly one of the hardest things I have ever done in my life, okay? Right under the bar exam. Right under the bar exam, because if you are a lawyer, even a law student, then you know how difficult the bar exam is. But enough about that. We're going to focus on today's video. For those that don't know, I am a lawyer, I am an influencer, I'm a content creator, YouTuber, entrepreneur, all the things we love about social media. I focus on influencer marketing, contracts, particularly for other influencers and creators. I'm working on a few other things within my business, but that's a little bit of tea. So I do have notes because listen, I want to make sure that I stayed on task, okay? So the first tip is get clear on your why. This is huge. I'm sure you have heard this before, and some of these you're gonna be like, girl, duh, we already know that. But listen, they work, okay? They work. If so many people are saying it and it's working, it works. So what helps me with being clear on my why is so that it makes me not compare myself as much. Naturally, it's just, unfortunately, there's some times where it's just like the comparison game just be trying to get on your back. Should be on your back and should be in your business. Should get on my nerves. I hate the comparison game, okay? But what helps me is knowing my why and staying rooted in that, and knowing that no matter what someone else is doing, it does not apply to my journey, to my dream, to my goal. So why am I comparing myself to them? Also, a lot of the times when you start comparing, it's stuff you don't even want. You don't even like that. You don't want to do that. So what are you doing? It just looks nice. Instead, what I try to do is I take that and I use it as inspiration or motivation. Like, you know what? If sis can do that, imagine what I can do on my own journey and my own path. That's why my favorite motto, honestly, my life motto is, what's for you is for you. Stay focused on your lane, on your goal, and on your why. So for example, I have several different whys depending on the specific topic or goal or career or just life in general that I desire to have. One of my whys is, my goal is to have a foundation for law students where I can eventually fund law students' tuition. So not a whole bunch of law students, now wait a minute. But I would love to have some type of nonprofit or a foundation where I'm able to pay for a law student's tuition, whether it's one, whether it's two, etc. That is definitely my why. So with that being such a hefty why, what can I do now to make sure that I am adding the right blocks and building the right foundation, right? So that I'm able to achieve that. So for example, something that I do now is I'm working on a smaller version of that scholarship. I've done one before if you've been around for a while. When I graduated from law school, I had a scholarship and I'm planning on bringing that back. So stay tuned if you are a law student. But also, I'm working on building out systems and expanding my business and realizing multiple streams of income is going to be the name of the game if that's my ultimate goal. Also making connections with other lawyers and potential sponsors for the scholarship, and just really setting up my network and community so that when I do launch something like this, I already have the foundation laid. So that's just an example of one of my whys. But I have so many. For example, I would love to have a healthier work-life balance. So what that means, working less hours but making more money, okay? I want to focus on my family, my friends, and my future family that I desire to have. So I want to make sure now I'm setting up my life so that I'm able to get used to having those boundaries, right? Because so many times it's easy to say, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can be there. Yes, I'll do this. When really you want to be like, no, it's self-care day. I need today for me. So that's another why. If I know I want to have a healthy work-life balance, I'm going to have to get used to saying no and setting up boundaries. So I can talk all about this for hours, child, because I am very passionate about my why, and it really helps me stay focused. So write down your why, be clear, be specific, change it if you need to. I constantly am looking at it, and also I make sure my vision boards at the beginning of the year and also my quarterly goals still reflect my ultimate why. Tip number 2, kind of overlapping with 1. I really didn't mean to do that, and these are technically not in any particular order, but they kind of flow. Okay, come on. So my second tip is to prioritize your overall health. So that's mentally, physically, emotionally. If you guys have been following me for a while, then you already know that I go to therapy. I have no shame in my therapy game, which is why I am so excited that today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp. Y'all know I have been working with them for several months at this point, and I will be continuing to work with them because I am extremely passionate about mental health. Myself have suffered from depression. I have suffered from anxiety. Yes, medically proven, okay? My doctor says so. But I have gradually work towards being able to implement things in my life where I can manage those things in my life. I can see the triggers. I can notice when I'm getting overwhelmed. I can take a step back, and I now have so many tips and tricks and things that I can do, practical steps, because I'm a Virgo, I do need some practical steps. I love a to-do list, so that I'm able to manage those areas of my life a little bit better, and I'm able to communicate them a little bit better to my friends and family when I am going through those tough times. And I have to give some huge credit to that, to BetterHelp and my therapist on the app. They are a platform that has professional therapy. Okay, professional therapy. These therapists are licensed. We love to see it. And just like we invest in our doctors, in our dentists, in our eye doctors, in our personal trainers who are licensed, you know, all the things that we prioritize and we invest in that are licensed, we should do the same with our mental health. And I honestly, it just makes me a more well-rounded person. It makes me be a better person in my personal relationships, in my online relationships. It makes me be a better person to myself, and I just feel so much better. Honestly, that's really it. I just feel like a better person. Like I can show up as a true, authentic, raw version of myself, understanding why I make certain decisions, right? Because sometimes I talk to my therapist about stuff just to understand, maybe is it a trauma as to why I respond to that? Or is it just that's just who I am, and let me live in it and let me be confident in it. So I truly love therapy. If you've never been, just give it a try. I will leave a coupon code on the screen here. Also, more information will be in the description box below. If you ever have any questions about BetterHelp, definitely reach out to me. They are a lot more affordable than a lot of other therapy options. Me as an entrepreneur, y'all, let me tell you, health insurance is very expensive, okay, when you're paying for it yourself. But BetterHelp makes it a lot more affordable for people such as myself or other entrepreneurs out there. I know y'all can relate to the health care that we have to pay in the US particularly. I don't know about the other countries, but in the US, healthcare is so high. I'm going to tangent. Okay, we got to bring it back to BetterHelp. But seriously, thank you so much to BetterHelp for just providing a platform and giving access to people that might not be able to afford therapy, or might not, or you know what, might be intimidated by therapy. Because what I also love about BetterHelp is because it is on an app, it's also on desktop as well, but you can kind of ease your way into therapy and start off with just sending messages to your therapist, and then maybe you want to get on a phone call, maybe you do voice messages, and then work your way up to video calls and even some in-person options as well. So definitely make sure you guys check out BetterHelp. I can go on a tangent, but you guys will hear all about them throughout this whole year. Again, if you are out there just thinking about how would it feel to just talk to somebody that is not like a family friend that is so invested in your life, where they're just going to give you their professional opinion. They're going to tell you, you know what, I hear what you're saying and I understand what you're saying. They're going to be there, an open ear to listen, but also to give you practical steps. If you keep thinking that sounds very nice and you always want to try it, get into it, okay? Because you can show up as a better version of you because of therapy and prioritizing your mental health. And you don't have to be going through nothing. Okay, so another way that I prioritize my overall health is working out. Y'all, if you follow me, I'm gonna keep saying that, because if you are an OG or if you are a subscriber or follow my Instagram or TikTok, then you know I love going to fitness classes at True 40. I actually have done boxing before. I have a Peloton. I just really love working out. And yes, for the physical benefits, but honestly, that also ties into mental health. I promise you, I am so much less stressed. I am nicer. I am friendly, okay? I am such a better person when I am consistently working out. And it's also something about doing something like that consistently makes you show up consistent in other areas of your life. I'm sure y'all have heard that, especially now so many people are doing their routines, which I personally love. I know people are like, everybody making their bed online. Okay, and we are, and I actually make my bed every day, okay, period. But it's nice to have something that you do consistently, so then when you have to be consistent at work or with your family or with something else, it feels a little bit easier because you're constantly exercising that consistency muscle. That's how I look at it. I don't know if that's 100% scientifically proven, but I think it works, okay? So if you haven't tried it, just do. Tip number 3 is to get comfortable being uncomfortable. This is one of the hardest things, I feel like, in life, right? It's so much easier to just stay in your comfort zone. And this is different than staying in your own lane, like we mentioned in tip 1, right? Like, that's different. Comfort is that moment when you have the opportunity to do something and you're like, it's a little bit too difficult, I'm gonna be nervous, and you don't do it. Just do it. You never know what may happen. I can't even get it out, child. You never know what may happen when you just take a little bit of a risk, right? Just get out of your comfort zone. When you're at a networking event and you're like, I'm just gonna talk to the friends I know, period, okay? Go over and challenge yourself to talk to someone new. You never know what door might open by you just getting out of your comfort zone a little bit. Try a new restaurant. Try some new skincare. Oh, try a new makeup product. Try on that outfit that you're like, you know what? I love the girls that wear that, but I could never. Get out of your comfort zone. You never know what that may open, what doors may open, what that might lead to. You may find a new hobby that you love. You may meet a new man's or a new woman's, okay? Period. But seriously, just get out of your comfort zone. And as an entrepreneur, that is like the name of the game. I read a quote and it said something like, the higher risk is not taking a risk, or something like that. Like, it's more risky to not take the risk than it is to take the risk, which basically means if you're just like, nope, I'm not going to do anything, just going to stay here, how are you going to elevate? How are you going to grow? How are you going to expand your mind, expand your brand, expand your business? If you stay in your comfort zone, you're going to be making the same amount of money. Now, it's not saying that, it's not everybody, okay? It varies. But when you try something different and it works, and you're like, I was so scared and now I'm making double, triple. Let me tell you, I was so scared to quit my law firm job in 2020 in the middle of a panini, okay? A panorama. But I did it, and it was the best decision I could have made. Like, my life has transformed into something so beautiful. I am so grateful. Also, I'm sorry if the lighting is changing. I'm using natural light, so if it's going in and out, I'm sorry in advance. Tip number 4, ask for help and delegate. This is huge for entrepreneurs out there. Some of y'all are working too hard because you need to give that task to someone else. That was me. I'm talking to myself. I'm doing a lot better with delegating. It is so hard, especially as an entrepreneur, because you're like, my business is my baby. It's my pride. It's my joy. It's mine. It's mine. But you got to loosen the grip. Loosen the grip so that you can allow others to pour into your business as well. When you find the right team that is just as passionate about your business, your brand, and you can trust them and they trust you and they are an expert in that particular area, it's a great combination. Like, I promise you, delegating has been amazing for me. It frees up so much more of my time where I can then focus on moving the needle and things that can make more money in the business. I can focus on prioritizing my health and my wellness. I can focus on really building a community and listening to what my community needs and my clients' needs. It just has freed up so much time for me. And I'm not over here trying to be IT when I'm not IT. I'm not an expert in IT. What am I doing? When I'm over here trying to fix some automations when my operations manager could just do that. Like, you have to delegate and ask for help. It is going to elevate you and move your business. You're going to get to a point where you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck because you cannot grow bigger because you need more hands to help. I promise you. Just trust me on this one, because I have lost out on money because I just didn't have the capacity to do things. And I'm also still now trying to hire more so that I'm able to continue to expand my business and grow. So don't be afraid to ask for help. And sometimes it's just asking like another person that is either higher in the industry than you and or in the same level of you in the industry, and just ask them questions. I've gotten so much just information, tips, and tricks poured into me by simply asking questions. Where I'm struggling, I'm over here trying to research for 3 hours when I could just ask somebody in 30 minutes and get the answer. Why are we struggling? Like, why do we do that to ourselves? Yes, there are some things you need to research and take time to like focus on, and like you're gonna have to put in the grunt work, but sometimes it's okay to ask. Just ask. Especially if it's been done before. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, okay? Because if it worked for them, it could work for you. Add your own little spice to it. It's a new seasoning, period, okay? I'm just saying. So I don't know who needs to hear that, but ask for help and delegate. You are still phenomenal. You are still an expert. You are still killing it. You are still the CEO of your business, and it's still okay for the CEO and the founder and high-level employers and employees to ask for help sometimes. Tip number 5 is to be a forever student. This is huge. I feel like I've said that with all the tips, but seriously, be a forever student. Constantly have the eagerness to learn, and this kind of overlaps with tip 4 with asking for help. But seriously, things change rapidly. I'm in the influencer marketing and social media industry, so I mean, things are changing so fast. And as a lawyer, laws change constantly. I'm constantly having to do research on that. And then with this being such a new industry, laws are a little bit behind. So I'm trying to constantly research and shapeshift and mold other areas of law to see how they apply in the social media influencer marketing industry. And it can be a lot, but I love it. And I remind myself that although I have graduated and I don't intend on going back to school, you never really know, but it's nice to still know, like, I'm still a forever student. When you think about it, at first it's kind of daunting, but then when you really think about it, it's like, no, that's a privilege. That's a blessing. It's an honor to be able to constantly learn from life. Maybe it's not even about careers, right? I learned so much from social media influencers that I trust, whether it's about the best practices of working out, whether it's the best foods to eat for certain particular things that I'm looking forward to shape and shift and tone in my body. Also, skincare, makeup, fashion. Like, there's so much knowledge out there, especially on the internet. Don't be afraid to just sit down some days and just research. Be a student, take notes, watch some PowerPoints, take a course, join a masterclass, a webinar, etc. Constantly be a forever student, because not only will it help you as an individual, it will help your team, it will help your business, and it will help your personal relationships as well. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. But if you know, I always end my videos with an affirmation. So if you did make it this far in the video, comment below this affirmation. I am confident in my individuality. I tried to make sure that so many of these tips could apply to so many different areas, not just entrepreneurs, but y'all, be confident in you and who you are in your journey and your process. I am so passionate about that. Like, so many things in life can be replicated, duplicated, copied, but your life journey through your lens, your experiences, your knowledge is so particular to you. If you lean on that and be confident in your individuality, other people could be doing the same thing, but it ain't the same sauce, period. But let me run that affirmation back for the one time. If you made this far in the video, comment below this affirmation. I am confident in my individuality. And that's on that. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share this video with your family, friends, and colleagues. Leave me some comments below of any other videos you guys want to see. Thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Love you guys.